Good morning, guys. Let me tag some people to get on. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. OMG. Oh my goodness. Isn't it a great day today? And no, I must confess, I haven't been outside yet, which is, well, I guess that's wild. All right. So I wanted to reach to show you, ladies and gentlemen, the book that I am referring to this this time. It's called When You Can Walk on Water, Why Take the Boat? Can you see that? I am going to, it's by a lady. Her name is Lisa Diane. And I think it's so imperative for us to have something like this, especially now, because, well, people are always looking for a better way. And I wanted to help people to see, just find a better way and to have a richer, happier 2021. So if you already wrote down the 25 things that I suggested you write down, I would love for you to put it in the chat. And if you don't know what 25 things I'm talking about the 25 goals that you have, the 25 goals and dreams that you have that you want to accomplish in 2021. All right. Or maybe it's not 2021, just things that you want to accomplish. The last time I talked about Grant Cardone, how he was trying to kick a bad drug habit. And he talked about when he left rehab, the counselor said that he would be back. And it was through an obsession with making that list of over 25 things and reviewing that list every day, writing it out every morning, every night. He has now become a mega successful superstar. Grant Cardone's one of those people, you either like him or you don't. It's all good. Just like Oprah, you either love her or you don't. So, I just want to be here to just help you ladies and gentlemen. I keep saying ladies and gentlemen, ladies, because I work with a whole lot of women in what I do. But I just want you to consider writing that list down. So let's say you already wrote the list down. Now the next part of the formula, it's going to take faith. So what I would suggest you do is start imagining what you have on the list has already having been done. In the book, the lady, Lisa Diane, she talks about, her car being repoed, right? And she made up a list of 25 things that she wanted to accomplish. And she made up a list of 25 things that she wanted to accomplish. And then she actually imagined herself driving in her Jaguar. And Jaguars are not my taste per se, but they were her taste. And she imagined the smell of the leather. She imagined the music. She imagined driving down the street in her Jaguar. And within 6 months, she had accomplished the goal. So I want you all now to start developing faith by writing down exactly what you want to do and start imagining it. Okay? And, you have to call a thing that's not so as if it is so. All right. In addition to that, you want, there's some little things in your mind. I call them annoyances. Those are the negative things that say, oh, you can't do it. Or they try that small voice in your head that tries to sabotage you. That voice is not your friend. If you are talking about the higher power, the godlike power, then that voice is going to be working with you. And for years, sometimes we have trained ourselves to only listen to that negative voice. I know I did. And that negative voice will come to you when things just are at its worst and say, see, I told you this wasn't gonna work. I would strongly suggest that every time that voice comes, you start thanking God for the accomplishment of your goal, whatever it is on that list of 25, and you start picturing it as if it's already done. One of the mentors that I follow, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he talks about rewiring the brain. And you can look him up. He's a great teacher. If you truly, truly want to rewire your brain, he's an excellent teacher for this. And he talks about, it takes about 8 weeks of constantly imagining as if something is so for the brain to realize that this is happening. And I've often talked about the Heart Math Institute. You can look them up on these lives. And at the Heart Math Institute, they actually map as people's brains change to become what they imagine. And sometimes they'll say on this, Dr. Joe talks about sometimes when they know when people are going to have a transformation or a healing or a breakthrough because their brain lights up in a certain way. So the reason I'm telling you this is that just keep on believing, keep on imagining what you want, because eventually your brain is going to get it. And your brain is your brain is going to realize, oh, so she really is serious, or he really is serious about this. And it's going to start working to make things happen for you. And you're going to find that what people call synchronicities or magical things are going to start happening in your life. And you're going to wonder, wow, how did this happen? It's going to seem like I said before in some of the lives, you'll make a left turn. And if you're looking for a husband, you bump into the man that's supposed to be your ideal husband. If you are looking for a job, you may go into a place, just walk in there, and they may say, oh, I'm hiring. You never know what those synchronicities will be. But the first thing you should choose to do is start imagining it, feeling it. And when those dark moments of the night come, because they like to come in dark places, like at night, or they say, like a dark room is where negatives develop. When we used to develop film back in the day, every night, or when you go into those dark places, you want to replay the image of you having the dream or the goal from those 25 things over and over again. After a while, it's going to just become natural. If you're washing the dishes, play the movie of you having the goal. At night, Dr. Joe talks about, we sit down and we watch our programs. And it's called programs for a reason, because it's programming you. And you watch the program, and when you go to bed, that's what you dream about. That's what your mind uploads. What if you could create your own mind movie before you go to bed and watch the program of your dreams being accomplished? Now, the key to your dreams being accomplished, though, ladies and gentlemen, is that it cannot be like a wish where I hope that's going to happen. It has to be something where you feel like it's already happened. One of the teachers, if you want to look him up, is Neville Goddard. And he tells the story of wanting to go to Barbados. And Neville Goddard is old school. He may have been in the 40s or the 50s. But he was one of the original teachers of this teaching. And he told his friend that he wanted to go to Barbados. And his friend was more advanced in him than the teachings. And he didn't have the money to go to Barbados. So his friend said to him, you are already in Barbados. And Neville would go to him the next day and say, I want to go to Barbados. And he said, you're already in Barbados. And finally, the friend got so mad, he just slammed his room door and said, don't talk to me about that anymore, because you are already in Barbados. So he finally decided to be in Barbados, mentally be in Barbados, be the thing. So a couple days later, he gets a letter from his brother with a ticket on the with a store. Let me see if I get this right. He got a ticket from his brother to go to Barbados on a boat. All right, on a ship. So he went to his friend who is more advanced, and he said to the friend, okay, I want to get a first class ticket to go. I want to get a first class ride in steerage to go to Barbados. And his friend said, you already have first class. So he started to believe he already had first class. And what happened was, when he got there, by some changes in, I don't know, whatever, we call them synchronicities, he was bumped to first class. I'll give another story from my life. I remember once I was going to Dallas, Texas for a company convention, and I got up that day, I dressed up really, really nice. And I said to my husband, I'm going to be on first class. And he said, stop talking. That's nonsense. It's not going to happen. I said, I'm going on first class today. And he's like, no, but I dressed really nice. I felt really good. And I was just on it. And I remember going into the airport, and the lady, the flight attendant, looks at me. She says, come here. We're going to bump you up to first class today. And I'll never forget calling him and telling him that. Another story is I remember I had pictures of traveling on my goal poster. And I didn't know where the money was going to come from. I didn't know how it was going to happen, but I just had it. And we were going to Seattle. And I remember going to the airport was crowded. And all I heard was someone say, if you're willing to give up your seat, we will give you a $2,000 voucher. And I was like, what? And that's how it was, one for me and one for my husband. So that was $4,000 worth of free travel, courtesy of God. So this is real, it's true, and it can happen for you. Now, some of the blocks that can stop you from achieving your goal, I already talked about not believing it. The second one is that can be a block is thinking that you have limitations. And I want you to know that some of the best inventions in life happened by people who had limitations. You know, if you think maybe you have an illness, Truett Cathy, the founder of Chick-fil-A, let me tell you his story real quick. He was going to form a restaurant with his brother, one of his brothers, and the brother had a plane crash and died. And he got hurt. And while in bed on bed rest, because his back was damaged, and he was grieving over his brother, that's how the idea came to him for Chick-fil-A. And you've seen the lines for Chick-fil-A. It's still around and it's still a successful business. All right. Let's talk about another person. Helen Keller was born blind. Okay? Helen Keller was born blind, and she is someone who people still talk about. All right, let's talk about the age thing. Maybe you think you're too young or you're too old to do this. A lot of great inventions are happening from people who are young. We're on Facebook. Mark Zuckerberg, come on, in college. And let's talk about people who maybe you are over 50. And I made a list of people who were over 50 who achieved great things. Julia Childs. Anybody remember her? You can cook. Most of us can cook or became fascinated with cooking and cooking by her formula because of Julia Childs. She started when she was 50. Ray Kroc. Everybody knows about McDonald's. And for those of you who are confused, McDonald's is not about selling McDonald's. It's about acquiring real estate. And Ray Kroc he actually took the idea from two brothers who didn't have a big enough vision. And now they're McDonald's all over the United States, maybe all over the world, but definitely all over the United States. All right. He started at 52. Then you're going to talk about, let's see who else. Colonel Sanders. How many people like KFC? 62. He was almost out of his pension, almost out of it. And he went from place to place selling his fried chicken. In fact, he had, I think they said over 600 rejections. Now that is a little bit rich for me because I deal with rejection daily when I call people to have them take a look at what I do. And I feel a little bit of twinge, but after using this to inspire you, I'm going to keep on going because that means the more rejection I get, that means the bigger the gift, the bigger the success is. All right. So I want you to think about this. And Stan Lee, for those of you in your 30s, Stan Lee, the guy who created X-Men, Spider-Man, Superman, the Marvel Universe, did not start until he was 39 years old. He didn't create his first comic until he was 39 years old. So you guys still have a chance. You see, God, if you're alive today, especially in this time, you are here for a purpose. And remember, you're here to create value for people. Ask God to show you how you can create value for people. I was talking to one of my friends this morning in Scotland, and she talked about, every month her goal is to give 40 pounds of food to the food bank. Okay? What is your purpose? Why are you here? How are you going to make a difference for humanity? How are you going to leave this place better if you were to die tomorrow? All right? So I want you to think of that. And the beautiful thing about God is the goals that you have are attached to other people. So let's say you want to buy a house. That goal of you buying a house, it may be attached to a realtor's goal of being able to sell a house. Maybe you want to earn a free car. In my company, they give free cars. Your free car is attached to a line of people who may want to earn extra income during this time. Whatever, ask God to use you, use you. Just ask him to use you, and you'll be surprised and amazed at the wonderful things that happen. And I can give you more examples of synchronicities, but we'll leave that for another time. I am well over my time. I want to tell you all, thank you so much for stopping in. If this created value for you, please like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you want to learn about. I am thinking about doing a live stream with documentation of what proof of what I'm saying by scientists and doctors. It won't be boring, it will be fun. But as I'm saying this, I remember, so that's why I have a degree. I was an English major in college, because I was used to backing up things and showing proof of what I wrote. So I'll probably do something like that, maybe closer to the end of next month. I am not sure yet. But if that's something that would create value for you, because some of us need proof, some of us need somebody to back it up so they can even start believing. Let me know, message me privately, and I'll be happy to, start creating something like that. Guys, I want you to have an impactful day. It's Thursday. See what you can do today to make the life of someone better around you, even if it's a smile, whatever. All right? Guys, make a difference in the world. God depends on us as his vehicles to bless others. So let's do him proud. Bye.